Bless you. Welcome to This Is It, 4321. Let's go. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you like a news segment. While we're working on our plasma videos, well, when I say videos, it's going to be a conglomeration of a bunch of different parts. It's not like the normal video we'll do. It's got tripods, it's got other video cameras, it's got screencast-o-matic, it's got a lot of different venues that are going to have to be stitched together. Anyway, it's quite phenomenal just to get to see it in an energy format. Anyway, I'm doing that for all the people that are stuck in secular world views and they can't wrap their mind around that the whole world is simply a manifestation of a spiritual world that you can't see. But when you flip the world, you can see it. And I'm going to break it down for you guys, like I said in this plasma video. It's been a little bit overwhelming. We've had a lot of stuff coming against us again. No big surprise. It happens all the time now. So let's get to the news. Let's talk about what the heck's going on right now. So we're in a government where we have these opposing factions, the red team against the blue team. We have Republicans against the Democrats. Isn't it interesting how corrupt the entire system is? I mean, red team and blue team, both part of the corruption. Blue team heavily, let's just call it communist takeover, Hitler, socialist type values. And they're coming, and they're not going to come. It's already happening.
Allah is not shy of the truth. We don't say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion was sent to dominate the world. It was sent to be superior, to extinguish the light of every other religion and to be superior to it. We're not shy to say it, and we don't find that to be something that we should be shy to say. That this religion has been sent to dominate, to wipe out, to take out every other religion, to eclipse it, to be superior to it, to have the people leave every religion and to accept Islam. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then it requires fighting to achieve it. Because the greatest purpose for which jihad was legislated is to make the word of Allah the highest and the word of those who disbelieve the lowest.
It's happening here in San Antonio in a way that was absolutely mind-boggling. I'm going to show you a little clip. The Islamic influx of this other ideology, their ideology does not assimilate into any other culture. It comes into every culture and it plays the victim. Just like the same thing that Muhammad did when he went into Medina and played the victim and then ended up cutting a lot of people's heads off. That's how he ended up in Medina as well. Maybe we can throw in a segment from that.
The massacre of the Banu Qurayza. This particular incident serves as a prime example of the extreme cruelty displayed by Muhammad. The Jewish tribe of the Banu Qurayza was attacked by Muhammad in 627 AD. Around 400 to 900 men, including any boys showing signs of puberty, were beheaded. Women and children were enslaved. Attractive young girls were divided among Muslims to serve as sex slaves. Some women were traded for arms and horses.
I was among the captives of Banu Qurayza. They examined us, and those who had begun to grow pubic hair were killed, and those who had not were not killed. I was among those who had not grown hair.
Muhammad went out into the marketplace of Medina and had trenches dug in it. Then he sent for them and had them beheaded in those trenches. They were brought out to him in groups. They numbered between 800 and 900.
If you know what I'm talking about, when he showed up in Medina and played the victim and then ended up killing a bunch of Jews. So we have an ideology that's been imported to all these countries, yes or no? Has Islam been imported to countries all over the world out of nowhere, yes or no? That's like the weird thing going on, isn't it? Why is everybody, all these European nations importing Islam? Oh, well, just give us all these Islamic people. Why? Why are they all coming to the U.S.? Why were our borders down? That's called an invasion, but it's a world invasion. Who is Islam? Who is Islam?
Watching closely.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Who's seen those videos when you're like, oh my God, the Muslims are taking over New York? Have you seen those?
You see those? Let them know that we are taking over New York City. Takbir!
Well, they pray with their heads to the ground. They worship Satan. Now, they'll call us the great Satan, but it's always the same. You call your enemy what you yourself are guilty of. So they walk around their big box with a vagina on the corner. They try and get up close so they can stick their head in it and invert their own reflection. And then what is allegedly one of the holiest sites on earth is it's filled with absolute filth and garbage on a moral level. It's absolutely mind-boggling what goes on in Mecca. Actually, rapes go on in Mecca. Killing people goes on in Mecca as a form of guaranteed sending someone to heaven. If you kill them in Mecca, if they die in Mecca, they get a free trip to heaven. If you die in jihad, you get a free trip to heaven where you get all your virgins. So the whole religion is focused on going to a place where you can have a lot of naughty sex. Does that sound like the heaven that we've been made aware of, or the one that I've been made aware of? It's not even remotely what it is. So anyway, just saying, it's a very strange ideology, and it doesn't assimilate into any other cultures. It shows up, plays the victim, and then takes over. Okay, now watch this. This one in San Antonio. Ready?
The first story is in San Antonio, Texas. An illegal immigrant from India allegedly emerged from the woods at a Spada park and randomly punched a mother in the face over and over again until she dropped her 3-year-old daughter. From there, the man grabbed her and began biting the child's face like something out of a horror scene. Police say 24-year-old Athara Vaya tried to gouge the toddler's eyes out, tore 2 teeth from her mouth, and severely bit her face over and over again, upwards of a dozen times.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Have y'all, do y'all understand that the beast is going to be unleashed as mentioned in Revelation? And a fourth of the world's population will be killed by famine, lack of food, pestilence, disease, like the COVID nonsense they rolled out, famine, pestilence, and by the beasts of the earth. Who are the beasts of the earth? You think it's a bunch of doggies and kitties running around in packs? If it is, then I'm in trouble because I've got a lot of cats. No, it's the monsters that the beast is hiding in. Like the song by Imagine Dragons, with the beast inside, there's nowhere we can hide. This is my kingdom come, this is my kingdom come. That's the beast they're talking about. The beast is the whole host body population, and everyone that's a double down is already in beast mode. If you're a one up, one down, one eye up, one eye down, they're trying to turn you to the beast mode. There's a song that I like to quote, "You become the monster so the monster does not break you." That's exactly right. The monster puts you under so much duress and so much hate in this world. The monster tries to make you what the monster is. I experienced it myself. I literally lived it, watching the monster trying to turn me to something I was not. And I even called it out. I said, no, I can't do this relationship because you're trying to make me become like you. And that's how I know I'm done. I'll never do that. So anyway, so you have a system in which an evil demonic entity is trying to destroy the angelic entity inside of you. I've shown it to you ad infinitum. I'm going to show you these clips on what's going on Trump. Let me show you this tattoo one more time so you can see how profound this tattoo is. Watch this. We'll get away from this. I've seen enough.
Times until brave bystanders tackled the man and restrained him until the police arrived.
That's great. Okay, let me show you something. Watch this. This is the newest folder. It's called Dead Sheep and Chrysalis, because on the book that Obama and Mondami were reading to the kids, I'm sorry about this verification thing, but we had to do it. We're getting so many attacks on our show notes. It's called Alone and Together, and the reason it's Alone and Together is because the system, in the system, think of angelic entity as a white male entity, and think of demonic as a demonic black male entity within the system. And the dark one destroys the white one within the host body. Light is destroyed by dark within the host body system. And they're telegraphing that right in front of you by having the two twins with the same haircut in front of you, with the little girl sitting with the hijab and the black lady sitting in front of the tree with the iron cross on it. This is all staged, every single bit. I encourage you to go look at some of these pictures. Look at this one right here. Let me ask you, what is this right here? I mean, that looks like somebody drew something on the bathroom wall. I mean, this is absolute nonsense. This is absolute staged. It's completely staged. I mean, you got the twins, you got the Islamic female. Represents the female beast take over the system. You got twin, dark, and you got her sitting in front of the tree with the iron cross. And you got the two pedophiles that recently came out and mentioned, by the way, Mike Obeamer was mentioned that there's a group of people coming together to sue him for sexual assault that was done because he's a man. And if you want to see that, go to the People's Voice. They have the whole video. Okay, now watch this. This whole thing was done right in front of us, and it was a sheep. It's a sheep. That's the head of a rudimentary head of a sheep right there. The eye is a crescent moon like Islam, because the sheep is becoming Islam. The sheep is becoming the beast, and this whole thing is a chrysalis, like an insect hatching from a pupa like this. I just colored it all green. The eye of the sheep is the crescent moon, and this whole thing alone and together represents the sheep being separated from God, but being melded together with the whole serpent race, which is an insect race. Let me show you right now this tattoo one more time. I want you to, that's a human heart. The whole thing's a human heart. Check it out. Okay, watch this. Okay, ready? The whole thing is a sheep as well. So I'll take the human heart, I'll slide it over on top of the sheep. There we go. So there it is, the human heart. You see this is a sheep. There's the eye of the sheep. There's the ear of the sheep right there. There's the nostril of the sheep right here. There's the line in the mouth of the sheep. This is the snoot of the sheep going up the face to the eye, the ear poking out the other side. There's the ear. So that is a sheep. It's also a human heart. There it is, a divided heart. Now watch this. Now, here is the demon, also male genitalia, and here's the angel that's yoked him with the devil looking up from the pit. Watch. You are born into the devil system. This is a perfect tattoo that represents it, and it's all biblical. There it is. Cleanse your hands and purify your hearts. Purify your hearts, you double-minded, double mind, angel and a demon. Who did that? The one that owns the flesh. Lucifer started the flesh. That's why they sing to Lucifer, dawning his own creation. There it is. Now, when you turn the whole thing upside down, again, it's the worm consuming the energy. I just want you to stop for a minute. Just take one moment and stop and think about some human being is showing you that. The same human being that showed you the Vatican's a snake-eating angels that are male right side up and female upside down. It's the same exact thing. You turn it upside down and the worm is eating the essence of the angel. That's the female system. So here we go. Now, ready? Watch this. Now I want you to understand where we are at, because now the two sides, red team, blue team, are coming together and they're meeting head to head. Obama is caught. He's committed treason. Brennan committed treason. Clapper, treason. Comey, treason. Strzok, Page, treason. And there's a whole litany, and a big part of America that has committed treason.
At the United States Courts of Appeals for the District of Columbia. Attention to Spencer Hallett, the Circuit Executive from the Center to Advance Security in America. Okay, this complaint addressing the judicial misconduct of James Boasberg due to recent reports that he consulted with members of the Biden Department of Justice in strategizing how to prosecute President Trump and other members of his administration. Folks, a judge, before a trial even occurs, strategizing to take down a sitting president. And we've got the receipts. This is not going to turn out well for him.
Now, when you start seeing things like I'm going to show you right now, you got to know you're at the door, guys. All hell's about to break loose. Watch.
Tonight, the temperature in Washington just hit a boiling point. President Donald Trump fired off late-night Truth Social posts tying Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and former CIA Chief John Brennan to the Russia hoax. And then he went even further, declaring Obama guilty of treason. Hours later, the Justice Department announced it's expanding federal execution methods to include the firing squad. Now, to be precise, no charges have been filed tied to Trump's accusation, but the sequence sent social media into absolute overdrive. Trump names names, the DOJ updates policy, and suddenly the entire country's asking one explosive question. What happens next?
I'm going to pause it. I want you to look over here at this post. I hope they arrest you, talking about Barack Obama, before the grand opening of your war bunker. That's talking about the Obama Library. Before the grand opening of your war bunker in south side of Chicago, you committed treason, targeting the President of the United States with Hillary Clinton. Absolutely correct.
This matters to every American because the core issue is bigger than a man or a post or a political fight. If top officials in the previous administration years, intelligence circles, and a presidential campaign worked to smear, spy on, or sabotage a duly elected president, then we are not talking about politics as usual. We're talking about corruption aimed straight at your vote, your ballot, and your voice. The same machine that targeted Trump also targeted the millions of Americans who supported him, mocked them, censored them, and treated them like enemies of the state for refusing to bow to the permanent Washington class. And now, President Trump is doing what no Republican before him had the courage to do. Say it plainly, publicly, and without fear. He posted video highlighting declassified material pointing to Brennan briefing Obama on Clinton-approved plan to vilify Trump with a Russia narrative. Then Trump said Obama was the leader of the gang. It's not small talk. That is a direct challenge to the old regime, and the media knows it. And while the political class spins panic and confusion, that same fear machine is always aimed at your wallet, too. And that's why I tell people...
Okay, I'm going to pause it. Get ready for the next part.
Now, here's the twist that sent the story from major to massive. Trump didn't just repost old talking points. He amplified a video claiming Hillary Clinton funded, approved, and created the Steele dossier, that Obama called the shots, and that Brennan's CIA did the dirty work. Then Trump followed with remarks saying Tulsi Gabbard has thousands of additional documents coming. If that material lands publicly, this stops being a social media storm and becomes a historic exposure event the establishment cannot control. Let's dive in now. This is Donald Trump's post from Truth Social. President Trump taking a direct shot at Barack Obama. He was quote tweeting this from Steve Rambert. At Barack Obama, I hope they arrest you before your grand opening of your war bunker in the south side of Chicago. You committed treason, targeting the President of the United States with Hillary Clinton. It's time we prosecuted someone for treason and sent a message. That's what President Trump posted. So he opens by zeroing in on Obama. Seconds later, he turns the heat on Hillary with another post. This is what he posted. Hillary Clinton funded, approved, and created the Steele dossier. Barack Obama called the shots. Brennan's CIA did the dirty work. The evidence is clear. Treason was committed. Now they must pay, or they will do it again. Americans demand it. President Trump not holding back, naming Hillary. He follows the case he's making against the whole operation, laying out Brennan's notes, the dossier claim, and why the Russia hoax keeps boomeranging back on the Obama world. This is the video that he did attach to that post on Truth Social. Watch closely.
Want to flush out its swollen legs? Knew Hillary created the dossier, and now we have proof that Barack was calling the shots and the documents to prove it.
Declassified documents revealing former CIA Director John Brennan briefed then-President Obama on Hillary Clinton's purported.
We knew Hillary created the dossier, and now we have proof that Barack was calling the shots and the documents to prove it.
Declassified documents revealing former CIA Director John Brennan briefed then-President Obama on Hillary Clinton's purported plan to smear then-candidate Trump in 2016, adding to what the National Intelligence Director has already declassified on this issue, and raising more questions tonight about how much more of this will come out before Election Day. Good evening, Mike.
Brett, good evening. These are handwritten notes from former CIA Director John Brennan, written according to a source familiar after Brennan briefed President Obama. At one point, Brennan writes, quote, approved by Hillary Clinton, a proposal from one of her foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by the Russian security service. The notes say on 28 of July, in the margin, Brennan writes POTUS, but that section of the notes are redacted. Then it says any evidence of collaboration between Trump campaign and Russia. The remainder of the notes are redacted, except in the margins where it says JC, Dennis, and Susan. That could be referring to former FBI Director James Comey, former Obama Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough, and former National Security Advisor Susan Rice. The CIA sent a memo to former FBI Director James Comey and Peter Strzok writing, quote, the following information is provided for the exclusive use of your Bureau for background investigative action or lead purposes as appropriate. One example the CIA includes, quote, an exchange redacted discussing U.S. presidential candidate Hillary Clinton's approval of a plan concerning U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections as a means of distracting the public from her use of a private email server. At a hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee last week, Comey was pressed on what he did with information provided by the CIA.
Did you open an investigation?
I don't know what that refers to. As I said earlier, that does not ring any bells with me when I read that.
You did not receive any investigative referral of this nature?
I don't remember it. I don't.
Complete garbage. This man is garbage.
I don't remember receiving anything that's described in that letter.
We knew Hillary created the dossier, and now we have proof that Barack was calling the shots and the documents to prove it.
So President Trump posting that to Truth Social. Okay.
All right. Now here's where you really need to pay attention. If you're President Trump and you're showing all this publicly, that means you're all in. You're 100% in, and you're going for that conclusion, which is treason. Well, treason is punishable by death. And he made sure he posted that as well. And he made sure that the Department of Justice put on their website that firing squad and hanging is a form of death that is instituted because of treason. Watch this. This is where you better go like, wow, we're arriving at the moment in time where the shit is hitting the fan right now. And everything we have going on in the Middle East with the whole, it's a war for control of the world's power supply. It's all about energy supply. Okay, now, hang on a sec. A little bit of a glitch, but ready? Now, watch this, guys. Just pay attention. And then after this, I'm going to show you some other crazy stuff. Here we go.
Truth Social. Okay. Spelling out the alleged chain of command. Now the online reaction jumps straight to the penalty of treason under federal law. In the United States, the punishment for treason is outlined in the U.S. Code 18 U.S.C. 2381, which states that a person convicted of treason can face death. Those are the legal questions hitting social media. Next, President Trump says it out loud on camera that Obama is guilty of treason.
So don't forget, now it's out. He's guilty of treason. He's calling it out publicly, and he's publicly saying, and these are the charges. That means Barack Obama and World Company of Demonic Evil Leaders, they have to rally right now. They have no other choice. They have to rally now. before Trump gets to them. So what are they going to do? Well, I'll tell you one thing I can see coming. Let's see, the bombings that are printed on the U.S. currency. Now would be a good time, wouldn't it? You got Trump over in the Middle East with the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. You have the whole Iranian conflict going on. And then if there was a nuke to go off in New York City and a nuclear tsunami that went off after Iran posted their propaganda little video of a nuke going off and hitting the Statue of Liberty with the head of Baal. Imagine if a nuke went off right now in New York. What would happen politically? Everything would turn against Trump. All conservatives worldwide would be, oh, it's their fault. And if a nuke goes off in New York, like is printed on the $100 bill, that's got 3 layers of ink showing a devouring wind destroying a set of buildings and water coming through those buildings on your $100 bill, and there's some guy that prophesied that out of the sea shall come fire and smoke and a devouring wind. Water as high as the walls of Jerusalem will cover the city by the sea. So imagine this. In the situation we're in right now, imagine a nuke going off in New York. It's already printed on your $100 bill. What about a nuclear tsunami going over the Statue of Liberty in New York? It's already printed on the $10 bill. So if you're going to do it, when would be a good time to do it? Maybe before they come get you for freaking treason. Remember when the port of New York was shut down during Obama's era? Everyone's like, what's going on? Why is the whole port of New York shut down by the U.S. Navy? Was that Obama and company planning the nuke so it's ready? It's already on the U.S. currency. The Twin Tower bombing was on the $20 bill. On the backside was the Pentagon bombing. I showed it to the FBI. I brought him the old 20. I said, here's the federal building bombing on the old 20. Turn it over. Look, there's the federal building blown in half. Oh my God. Well, what about this guy that had a prophetic utterance that said, out of the sea shall come fire and smoke and a devouring wind? Water as high as the walls of Jerusalem will cover the city by the sea, and great shall be the destruction of that city. And then after those words, those same words manifest on U.S. currency notes as a nuclear tidal wave and as a set of buildings being devoured by a wind? Okay, that's not possible. So when would be the best time for the ones that did that to implement that? Well, right before you get arrested for treason would be a good time. I'm just saying, don't you think? So it looks like we're probably there. Okay, watch this. Ready?
There it is. There's no going back now. President Trump says Obama is guilty of treason. MJ Truth Ultra. Remind me, what is the penalty for treason? Here's the president.
The leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And except for the fact that he gets shielded by the press for his entire life, that's the one they... Look, he's guilty. It's not a question, I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries. You've seen some pretty rough countries. This man has seen some pretty rough countries, but you've never seen anything like it. And we have all of the documents. And from what Tulsi told me, she's got thousands of additional documents coming. So President Obama, it was his concept, his idea, but he also got it from crooked Hillary Clinton. Crooked is a $3.
Next segment for you. Summarize that for you real quick from the next news network.
From the White House. Tonight, the walls may finally be closing in on the people who sold America the Russia hoax.
Let me just slow that down a little bit for you guys.
Tulsi Gabbard is pointing to newly declassified Durham appendix material and saying the quiet part out loud. Hillary Clinton approved the plan. Obama was briefed, and top Democrats were working to shift attention away from Hillary's email scandal and onto Donald Trump. Now, I had fresh allegations that the former Biden White House was coordinating behind the scenes on the Mar-a-Lago raid, and suddenly this stopped looking like isolated abuse. It starts looking like a pattern. The question now is simple. How high does this really go? Now, this matters to every American because powerful Democrats were able to weaponize intelligence claims in 2016, then spin up lawfare in later years. What you're looking at is not politics as usual. You're looking at a system that believed it had the right to manipulate elections, poison public opinion, and target one man because the voters chose someone the ruling class couldn't control. Have you tried? Class couldn't control. See, Donald Trump wasn't their real target. You were. Your vote was. Your trust in self-government was. Tulsi says the newly declassified material includes statements tying Hillary Clinton directly to a plan to push the Russia narrative to distract from her email mess, while also showing that Obama was briefed before the election. Then you have reports of emails suggesting the former Biden White House coordinated with the DOJ before the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago, contradicting the old public line that Merrick Garland acted alone. Put that together, Americans see the same machine, the same playbook, and the same permanent political class scrambling to protect itself. When we're talking about breaking free from systems that fail people, let me tell you about something. See, it's not just about what happened in 2016. It's about whether the same political network carried its methods forward for years. One side says these were separate controversies, but the millions of Americans, to us, the pattern was simply impossible to miss. Russia hoax, lawfare, Mar-a-Lago. Now fresh questions about who was really calling the shots during the Biden presidency. If that's true, then the scandal is bigger than any election.
So I want to pause it so I want to keep it in perspective. I'm telling you, Barack Obama is the Mahdi. He's the Islamic takeover. He's the 12th Imam. He's the sun rising from the place of its setting. That's his logo. The coming of the Mahdi shall be preceded by the sun rising from the place of its setting. He's an evil lying just pile of garbage. He is. He's married to a TG that's been accused now of raping little kids that are all coming forward now. Go watch The People's Voice. I don't want to put it on my video because I have so many attacks coming. The People's Voice, just go watch. Obama. So what does that mean for everybody? What does it mean for you? That's what I'm trying to get to. See, the U.S. has been under a siege since Obama, before Obama even. But the point is, the siege is now here. And now that Trump is calling him out, and now here's the other thing. Trump, he's part of the Hegelian dialectic. Trump hasn't been set free of the system, red team versus blue team. He's still part of that Hegelian dialectic, good versus evil team. But they're trying to take him down in any way they can, but he's still not converted. So he's still easily manipulated by her, the one from the pit. The energy from the pit is still involved. So it's to bring about what? What's the point? They're trying to bring about biblical prophecy to show as the ones being in control. I don't know if you guys can see through that, but why do you think they're trying to get this third temple built so fast? Do you guys know about Bibi Netanyahu and just his ties to the rabbinical just hierarchy in Israel? How Bibi needs to help bring about the end of days so their Messiah can show up. They don't believe Jesus was the Messiah. Bibi doesn't believe Jesus in Jesus. He thinks we're goyim. We're here to serve him. That's his belief. Here, I'll show it to you.
It's about
here that Trump is reposting treason charges for firing Squad Watch.
But I think it's appropriate that they do go.
Okay, so I'm playing these clips because it's all contextual. President Trump just reposting treason charges for Obama, bringing up Hillary. He's made these remarks in the past in the Oval Office. And then on the same day, the DOJ adds firing squad as a method for federal executions.
Okay, that's what I wanted you guys to see. On the same day, the DOJ puts on their website firing squads for federal charges of treason.
The same day, the DOJ adds firing squad as a method for federal executions. Daily Caller, the Justice Department said today it's reinstating the lethal injection protocol used during Trump's first term while expanding federal execution methods to include the firing squad. Officials also said they're moving to speed up death penalty cases and review whether to expand or relocate federal death row facilities.
Wow. I mean, do y'all understand what's going on? The Trump administration's making his move. That's what he's doing. Okay, that means the other side has to make their move, and that's what I want you to understand in this video. Everybody's making the move. what's going to happen? What's printed on the U.S. currency notes? So if a nuke goes off in New York and a tidal wave wipes out New York, and Iran claims responsibility for it, and they say, we have other nukes planted all around, you don't think there's going to be a submission against all Republicans, against all conservatives? The head of the monster is going to turn on, oh, look what they did. They started this with Iran. Oh my God, everything could have been fine. Look at the setup coming. Pay attention to the smoke and mirrors. It's all coming. Don't forget the bombings were on the old currency notes. The federal building bombing, the Pentagon, the Twin Towers, they're all printed on our money. What about the new images? The tidal wave, the tsunami, the dam, they're all printed on our money. And what about the words of that prophetic utterance? For mighty is your enemy that has risen from within your own borders. Now behold, the man of peace, Barack Hussein Obama, shall come forth from the sea, and with words of peace he will bring chaos and destruction. Why is Obama still around? Weren't we done with him like way back? What's he still doing around in politics? I mean, compared to when he started, right? Why is it's what, 2026 and he's still out there? That's weird, isn't it? It's like, okay. Okay, now I just wanted to give you guys this perspective because I see it. I see it all unfolding right now. The whole prophetic set of events is unfolding. And then I have a little video to really put things in a perspective in a musical format. Zach did another video that's just a little jewel. I want you to watch it. Listen to the words of the song. Go look them up if you have to. Watch the video. Watch the editing. Let it sink in. I think it's just another jewel. Little clip. Here's Netanyahu talking to one of the head rabbis in Israel quite a while back. Look at how young Netanyahu is. Consider what he's hearing from this rabbi and consider where we are right now. And they're trying to force this building of the third temple. Watch.
Back.
This is Netanyahu right here. Okay, this is the rabbi talking to him. Watch. I'll expand it. Let me see. What hasn't changed, however, is that the Mashiach hasn't still come. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Screen was a little too big to get the writing in, so let's watch it smaller format. So what hasn't changed, however, is that the Mashiach hasn't come. Here we go. Ready? Watch. You know what? Let me slow it down. Let me do that one more time. It's just the playback speed wasn't right. Ready? Watch. So do something to hasten his coming. The rabbi is telling Netanyahu, so do something to hasten his coming. So he says, we're doing. The rabbi says, apparently it's not enough. Since many hours have already passed today, and he's still not here. Wow. Wow. So imagine that that's what prods and that's what pushes Netanyahu. That's what's inside Netanyahu. Hasten his coming. And it's not even the real Messiah. They missed him when he came the first time. Wow, this is wild, you guys. Okay, let's end this all with the video from Zach, okay? I got a really great video for you just to lighten things up. Y'all need to understand where we're at, though. That's the point of this video. You need to understand where we're at. Treason has been spoken out loud now. Death penalty has been spoken out loud towards Obama. Firing squad, hanging has been spoken out loud. That means Obama and company have to react. So it's like a gunfight at the OK Corral. Who's going to get who first? That's what's going on right now. Y'all got to understand that. That's where we're at in politics. Okay, now watch this. Let's watch this super great little video Zach did. This is awesome. Living in the Truman Show, guys. Until you invert the world, you're living in a freaking illusion. The whole thing's an illusion. Invert the world and be converted. So you'll be okay. Okay, I love you in Christ. Bear hug from Johnny. Peace and grace.